There seems to be a compromise of sorts in the air already. At least that's what U.S. officials are telling CNN, officials that have knowledge of the conversations that have gone on with the trade teams that are dealing with China on this issue in the recent week or so. One of those conditions does seem to be that for President Xi to have this meeting with President Trump, he wanted guarantees that President Trump wasn't about to slap additional tariffs on those additional $300 billion worth of trade with China. So that was an important precondition, it seems. The Wall Street Journal is obviously reporting other conditions, but the way that CNN understands it at the moment is this, that the expectation would be, and again, anyone that we're talking to who's commenting about this says really, at the end of the day, it does come down to President Trump. No one knows what he will do when he gets into that room with President Xi, but the expectation would be that there would be a formula somewhat similar, if you will, to the last G20, Buenos Aires in Argentina. And that formula would be that by agreeing not to slap on more tariffs, whatever the extent of the sort of time frame for that may be, and in Argentina, the United States said it was 3 months. China didn't put a length on it, and it lasted about 5 months until May. Then, of course, the United States up-tips tariffs on those $250 billion worth of goods, 25%. But the expectation now would be that if you get this agreement not to increase the tariff, not to put tariffs on these $300 billion worth of goods, then you can restart the talks more in earnest, if you will. That's where we seem to be.
China's People's Liberation Army, or PLA, was named for its role in the Chinese Civil War. Mao Zedong's communist forces defeated the existing nationalist government, forming the Communist People's Republic of China. That was October 1st, 1949. China's PLA boasts more than 2.3 million active servicemen and women, divided among the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Strategic Missile Forces. Also, more than 500,000 reservists. Here in China, huge sums are being spent to modernize and improve the army. Defense spending has been going up by double-digit percentages almost every year for 2 decades. The defense budget for 2015 was more than $140 billion. That's more than any other country aside from the United States. The PLA used to import many of its more sophisticated weapons, but lately it's been developing and manufacturing a lot of its own. This includes stealth fighter bombers and a wide range of intercontinental ballistic missiles. China has been a nuclear power since the 1960s and recently is believed to have developed multiple independently targetable reentry vehicles, MIRV for short. These are missiles where a single rocket can fire multiple warheads at multiple targets. The PLA has also gained notoriety for its cyber warfare capabilities, accused of hacking into other countries' computers, stealing state and trade secrets, and using them to advance China's military and other national interests. China's rapid beefing up of its military has caused suspicion among many of its Asian neighbors. We've been telling you about that ongoing territorial dispute in the East China Sea over those disputed islands claimed by both China and Japan. And China has even wider territorial claims, stretching hundreds of kilometers from its mainland coastline into the South China Sea, claims challenged by the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. The U.S. is even getting involved, deliberately flying reconnaissance planes through disputed areas to challenge China's exclusion policy. Just like China itself, the PLA has grown considerably in recent decades, from outdated equipment and persistent problems with internal corruption to an increasingly professional, confident, and active fighting force.